Disclaimer before I start, my daughter is up, so if you hear noise in the background, that's her. If you've been following me for quite a while now, you know that all I do when I read is immersive read. For those who don't know, immersive reading is when you have the physical copy of a book or the ebook or anything like that, and you listen to it while following along with the audiobook. That's the best way that I retain information. So anytime I get a book, no matter what it is, if I got to pay for it on Audible, download it on Libby, wait 12 months or 12 weeks. 12 months is crazy. But yeah, I always immersive read. And so I've read probably in total altogether, roughly 150 books, maybe. Roughly 150 between 200, something in that range. So I have a lot of audiobooks under my belt. So I decided to make a video about some of my favorites. It's quite a few, so that's why I have this iPad right here, but let's go. So first, probably, will I say this was the number one audiobook in my opinion is the Harry Potter series. Jim Dale, I'll never forget him. I'll never forget the experience of me reading Harry Potter for the first time a few months ago, and the way that it's so many characters that need different voices, and the way that he executes that, it just blew my entire mind. I think that series is the best audiobook I've ever listened to, because when I tell you, Dobby had his own voice, Harry, Hermione, Dumbledore, everybody had their own voice, even Moan and Myrtle. It was great. I'm not going to rank these. I just had to say that Harry Potter was probably the best one on this list, but we're just going to go, now we're going to go in order of what I typed. Next are the John Mars books. All the John Mars books that I have read, I don't know where he's from, but everybody has like this British accent that reads his books, and I think he does too. I don't know where he's from, so don't quote me, but I've only read Keep It in the Family, The Passengers, The One, The Family Experience, and What Lies Between Us. I think that's the only ones I read, and each one of them were great. And I love John Mars anyways. The way he writes his stories, what his stories be about, he executes them so well, and it's just like mind-blowing with where his stories go, and I really enjoy them. Next is Before I Let Go by Kennedy Ryan, and literally, honestly, anything narrated by Wesley Saban, I think that's how you pronounce her name, anything narrated by that lady, by that woman, by that whatever in good praise that you want to call her, anything narrated by her is going to be a 10 out of 10. And she does some of her male voices better than a man can do a male voice, and it's like, girl, quit playing. And also I want to give a shout out to Jacoby Diem. If you know, you know, you know, you know. Next is Remarkably Bright Creatures. The way that you get more, it was something about actually hearing Marcellus talk that makes the book even better than what it already was, because that really did it for me. Hearing Marcellus talk instead of reading and imagining what he sounds like, perfect. Next is Razorblade Tears. It don't matter if you don't like it. Everything about that book, I'm a hype up. The narration was great. The story was great. The cover is great. Everything about it was great. Even the ink they used was great. Paper, great. You get what I'm saying? Great. Next is Neon Gods, and I only say that because of the man whoever narrated Hades. Anything honestly about Hades, and if they execute the way he sounds right, I'm gonna eat it up every single time. Next is Listen for the Lie. That is a podcast story, and so anything with the podcast that I listened to was great because they executed that part well, and that was good. Next is all the memoirs I read, which are I'm Glad My Mom Died and Dinner for Vampires by Bethany something girl. She off of One Tree Hill. Yeah, any memoir I think I'm gonna rate or recommend because it's read by them, by the author. So yeah. Next is Once Upon a Broken Heart, and I only say that because of Jax. I think it's a woman only narrating it, but the way that she makes her voice turn to Jax is like that. I like those, you know, smooth, silky men, those dark, smooth, silky men. Even though Jax ain't dark, but he just, y'all know, if y'all know what I'm talking about. Y'all hope y'all know what I'm talking about. Next is the Boys of Tommen series. Tommen, whatever you want to call it. That book, I feel like I would not be able to read it without the audiobook because some of that slang, I think, is Irish slang, I think. And the narrators are actually from there, I believe, because they have the accents that I imagine goes with the book. And it helps move you along because some of the slang in there you don't know how to pronounce, or she has like a little glossary to tell you what it means, but hearing them read it is a lot better than me reading it on my own. Trust. This is One for My Enemy. Same for Razorblade Tears. Anything about that book is amazing. Paper, ink, thread count, anything I will recommend. One for My Enemy. Olivia Blake. Read it. Next is the Shepherd King's duology, The Nightmare in Her Head. Hearing him, 10 out of 10. And then every time he clicked, the narrator was like, oh my God, y'all. Oh my God. An audiobook can set a book up. I'm telling you. Y'all have to listen to them audiobooks. Y'all, audiobooks make books. I swear it makes it so much better. I love it. For real. For real. And then next is Slewfoot. That lady. Oh my God. She narrated, give me a second. She narrated Abatha, Forest and Creek, Sky, Samson, Mamunapet, and Slewfoot himself, and the witch. When I tell you each of them, just like Jim Dale, had their own voice, amazing. And then last, A Darker Shade of Magic by V. Schwab. I'm into the second book now, and I don't know if it's because the way V. Schwab writes is amazing to me, or if it's that the man and woman narrator just goes perfectly with, I think her name's, what's that girl name? Girl, what's your name? Lila DeBard, I think, something like that. Delilah Bard. Lila's narrator and Kel's narrator is, I don't know if it fit or V. Schwab, right? Maybe it's both. All I know is it's amazing.